Testing 1, 2, 3. Should be my 4th attempt to make this video over a couple of days because I'm very tired from another 4-hour doctor's appointment. Boy, maybe it's best I won't be uncomfortable. You might be. But the last week and a half or so, I've been trying to get the results of my neuropsych testing, which I waited 3 years to take so that I could maybe learn something about my memory loss and my trouble finding words. And then it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 months to get through the testing. And I was told I would get the results shortly after that, but I did not receive them. So I started asking around, and no one returned my calls. So then the time they called me was to ask me if I would take a cancellation appointment to see my neurologist who had referred me to these tests 3 years ago. And I said, only if I can get my results. I don't think this is going to work either. I'm not sure why. But let me try the turning on the light in the next room thing. So I agreed to take the cancellation appointment, and as I was coming up to that appointment, I hadn't got my results. So I asked my sister to help me look for the results in my medical record online. You know what those things, portal. One moment, please. So my sister found them in a, what's the word, in a way, they were spread out among my many appointments, not put together in a report-like fashion, but so therefore my sister moved them onto my computer, and I started taking notes on those notes. And so I was going to the appointment with the neurologist, and I had to switch my caregivers around and order a handicap van because another 4 hours round trip, as much as 40 miles each way, probably maybe 35. And so we did that, and we got there, and I saw the doctor, and I asked her why all this happened. Like, why? First of all, one of my results was to find out that I learn best by being given information in an organized manner. And yet, why hold back on my information and then have me have to find it in broken pieces in the bottom of my medical record? And she didn't answer me. She kind of got cranky because I couldn't hear her well. She gave me a hearing device, and I wore it for the rest of the appointment. She wanted me to take the tests that I normally take with her, so we did it. It was a lot like the ones with the other doctor, who I was waiting to get my results from. And so this doctor said that the other doctor feels that I have a mild cognitive impairment. One more word in there, but not surprisingly, I can't remember it right now. So the doctor, this one, said, we think you should go to a sleep specialist. I said, please don't send me for a sleep study where you have to stay over at the hospital, because I've done those 3 times and been prescribed the thing for sleep apnea. Then they have to put a mask on your face while you sleep. I'll come up with it before we're done. But she said, oh no, it's just another doctor in this office, and there's no sleep study. And I agreed. And then the appointment is 6 months away, but I didn't disagree with that. So just, so my sister found the papers, yes, and I was able to read once through them before I went to this doctor anyway. Asked her a couple of questions based on that. She asked me the questions she wanted to ask me, and we got home within I think it was closer to 5 hours this time, but so I felt a little better after that because, I had a couple of answers. I had a diagnosis of one sort, and, recommendations, whether I like them or not, and whether I found it worth waiting all that time, I'm not sure yet, but it was something. And I was so stressed when I was not getting my results, and had committed to that appointment with the other doctor that said I want the results, and no one returned my call. So that's my story. As usually, it's a mixed bag. I was interested in whether my results related to chronic fatigue syndrome. The doctor who gave me the cognitive testing, or psych testing, said my fatigue was a factor, and that's why they want me to go to the sleep clinic, because they think that they can solve my fatigue that way. So there are no answers for chronic fatigue syndrome at this time, more or less. But if someone would acknowledge it, but they don't really, because they don't know what it is. They might call it chronic fatigue, but they won't call it chronic fatigue syndrome. But I am diagnosed with fibromyalgia from that hospital, even though they said right off the bat 15 years ago, we might diagnose you, but we won't follow you for that. But I got a little bit of help there, and then I had to move on to some other places and get a little help there and here. So it sort of goes on, but like I say, I feel a little better. It was a major thing to get accomplished, and took a lot out of me. Like some other things in life, I don't feel it was good for my heart condition, but it had to be done. So thanks for listening, and maybe I'll think of other parts of this that I forgot. Good night.